Hey, this is DC Elliott, and I'm here with another Realtalk session. Today's topic is identity crisis. And to make sure I cover all the points that I have that I want to make, I've written some notes, so occasionally I'll glance down to see what the notes say to make sure that I'm staying on track. But identity crisis is an important issue for me because for a long time I operated under an identity crisis. When I was in my identity crisis, I was depressed, I was lost, I was seeking acceptance. I had low self-esteem. I really didn't have a lot of positive things to offer people because I was using people to give me my fulfillment because I didn't have a belief that I was really valuable or I was worth something. Sometimes it came out in me thinking more highly of myself. I kind of put myself on a pedestal. I made people cater to me because that made me feel like I was important. But really, that was all superficial, and it was due to an identity crisis. When you know who you are, you don't have to go out and prove it. You don't have to make people lower their standards or to cater to you in order to make you feel like you're something special. And that's one of the challenges when you're going through an identity crisis. My identity crisis lasts for about 30 years, and at the age of 30, I started to get a grasp of who I was. I started looking at the gifts, talents, and abilities that I had, and I was also starting to become a stable member of a church. And the teaching in the church had us focus on, purpose. What were we designed for? It said that God created us for something special that only we could accomplish, and that changed my life. Then I started to look at and try to see what God saw in me, what value that He created in me, because I didn't feel like the greatest, but I knew I wasn't worthless because God had made an investment in me just by me being here and being born. He made an investment in me through Jesus Christ, His Son, as well. And so, because of that, I had to be of some value, even if I didn't see it or recognize it myself. So, understanding that I was in an identity crisis, I started to look at, well, how do I figure out what my purpose is? How do I figure out what I'm supposed to do? And I started looking at things that I was good at. I identified the fact that I was a good speaker. My mom said I had a gift for gab. And I always wanted to be involved in activities that allowed me to be around people and gave me an opportunity to express my ideals. And so that was the start. And then through the ministry of the word, I realized that there was something greater for me to do, even beyond that. But at that point, every decision that I started to make had a basis of looking at my gifts as part of the influencer of whatever it is that I was going to decide to ultimately do. And so, as I began that walk, when it came time when people started telling me things that I should do, I always compared it to my gifts. Well, you could be a great doctor. I looked at my gifts. Do I have gifts that would, lend to the fact that I could be a great doctor? Yeah, probably a few, but not my strongest gifts. Not my gift to speak. My gift to speak is the strongest gift that I had at the time that I knew about. And so, if it didn't have anything to do with presenting to people, teaching people, training people, I knew that that wasn't really an area that I should go in, all because of my gifts. Now, the identity crisis point comes up from the standpoint of really exposing myself and others to the reality that, a lot of times what motivates us and causes or drives us to action is our desire to be accepted. And that desire to be accepted is because we don't have a place. So we're looking for a place to fit. We're looking for acceptance. And that is part of one of the things that you will know. It's just a natural part of people. The second thing is to show that desire motivates us to identify with things that we like or with certain groups. Cliques, gangs, two different groups of people that base their affiliation on a desire, whether it's a desire for acceptance, whether it's desire for protection, whatever the desire is, there's a desire that drives us to that interaction. And there's a deficiency potentially in our life. Maybe we didn't grow up with both parents in the household, or maybe one parent was, dejected, or, disengaged from the family, or, maybe there was a separation, and in that separation, the foundation for the individual was shattered. Whatever the cause of it, it could definitely cause us to be in an identity crisis. So hopefully, through our conversation, it'll help you to realize that you are special and you are individuals. You have talents, gifts, and abilities that are meant to exemplify and showcase the talent that God placed on the inside of you. It's not in vain. It's not something that should be taken lightly. It's something that should be taken with the heart that it was given for a specific purpose. Why is it important to get out of this identity crisis? Because once you get out of the identity crisis, you have purpose, you have direction, you have instructions. And when you start to encounter challenges, because you know that there is a destination that you have to get through, it will help you to do whatever it takes to get past that obstacle in order for you to achieve your goal. And here's a secret: God is the one that gave you the task or the purpose. So God is the one that's responsible for helping make sure that you have everything necessary to overcome the challenge. He's the one that's responsible for making sure that you have everything necessary to overcome challenges every step of the way. So if he wants to send you to the store, he has to give you transportation, he has to give you money, he has to give you everything that you need to accomplish that task. And it's no different than the purpose that he created us for. So what I just wanted to share with you today is what an identity crisis was, what the significance of it is, and how important it is for us to start to identify who we truly are. There will be some more information coming, and here's a prelude to the next part. Talents, gifts, and abilities. These are the blueprints or the roadmap for your purpose and identifying what you were created for. With that being said, this is DC Elliott. This is Real Talk 101, and I thank you for your time.